What do we have at the foundation for Sag, please? Two of Swords, Libra energy at the foundation of the reading. Sag, the messages that I've been getting surrounding the Sag Collective has to do with some sort of decisions that you are being faced with on your path right now. The divine is preparing to level you up into this new timeline. It's imminent, but there are some very serious decisions that you have to make in regards to certain dynamics in your life. It could have to do with people external to you. It could have to do with environments, geographical locations. It could have to do with mindsets, behavioral patterns, addictions. You place it as it makes most sense in your life. But there's a certain kind of shedding that needs to take place here in order for you to step into this new timeline. In other words, you need to surrender. And this surrender is the necessary process to be able to elevate you into this space where you're actually surrounded by things you've been trying to manifest, things you've been praying for. There's been this theme in a lot of the readings where I've been saying, be careful what you pray for, because your life just might begin to fall apart so the divine can align you with said manifestation. In other words, it's just another way of saying that the divine has to strip you of everything that is not serving you to be able to elevate you into that space. Now, this is something that is absolutely 100% true. Some of you have already been through this. I have been through this myself. It's very much this energy where, depending on really where you're at in life, the universe might need to lead you through the wilderness before they can prop you up on the stage. Very similar to what God did to Moses. He didn't just put him front and center. He made him go through the wilderness first. And history, scripture, is rich in these sorts of stories, these sorts of tales. It's like, here's some of you maybe trying to manifest or pray for some sort of leadership position in your field, in your life. Maybe you want to be in the spotlight or whatever it may be for you. And the universe hears your requests and starts to get the ball rolling. And that shows up as things around your life beginning to crumble. I'm hearing something about the setting of the stage changes. Now, this is very interesting. I'm getting this visual, right? It's like there you are, the lead actor in your own play of your own life, and you decide you want to change the scenery. And in order to do that, there needs to be a full set change. That set change is very similar to what I'm getting here in regards to your life and what the universe has already began to put into action. You know, just because something isn't happening right when you want it to doesn't mean it's never going to happen. There's some sort of divine timing at play here for you, Sag, and you need to be patient and trust the process. This surrender, Sag, is the key to all of this. And you know, most people's frustration comes down to timing, right? We all feel like we are fighting against the hands of time. We need to do something now, right? But you need to understand that the universe uses each and every one of us to tell an amazing story. It could be that your story sees you getting to a certain space at a certain age, because maybe not a lot of people have gotten to that space at that age, and you need to be the one that tells your story, a story of hope, that it can be done. Now, that's just an example, so place it as it makes sense with your story. But if you can begin to look at your life in this way, that you are an instrument of the divine, you are a vessel, and you surrender to the process, miracles will begin to unfold in your life that you never thought possible. It's like a formula. It's a formula to life. And, you know, it doesn't even have to be that complicated. It's simply the process of complete surrender to source, the flow of life and evolution, and how evolution wants to unfold in not only your life, but at the collective at large. It's basically you saying, all right, if this is meant to be, then I'm just going to completely let go and allow things to unfold naturally, organically. I'm not going to apply pressure. Yes, I'm going to show up and do the work when I'm guided to do so. Yes, I'm going to keep applying myself in this space and hone my craft, whatever that may be. But I'm going to get out of my own way and allow the universe to do what it does, because I trust in the process and in the knowing that when I get to the other side, I'm not only going to have that manifestation in the palm of my hands, but I'm also going to have a beautiful story to share with others as to how I got there. What do we have, the sacral, please? Three of Cups, Cancer energy at the sacral. You surrender, you allow things to unfold organically, and it leads to the celebration. Three of Cups at the sacral. For some of you, there's some sort of project, there's something that you have been manifesting, and it's right here. I can practically reach out and grab onto it for all of you. That's how close it truly feels. Now, given the fact that we have this Three of Cups at the sacral position, this is really speaking about something that you're very passionate about. The divine has told you time and time again, you need to be optimistic. You need to understand that what is taking place behind the scenes is going to see us leading you through that wilderness in the third density, down there. Again, they want me to reiterate, you must trust the process, okay? Now, I feel for a lot of you, the Three of Cups energy here of celebration is just outside your grasp, like I just mentioned. But the fact that they're still having me reiterate these messages of understanding that there's divine timing at play is telling me that it hasn't quite shown up yet. It's like there's hints of it. I just heard echoes. I'm also hearing something about the transits, Sag, and now I'm hearing something, okay, December. In your season, you could see some sort of movement in regards to whatever this is. Okay, now I'm seeing January flash in my mind's eye. So basically, let's say that there's this window that I feel you're inside of from now until about January, where things are going to start becoming much clearer. And I'm also hearing that God is not giving you what you expect right now in regards to this, okay? He's going to give you what you actually need, and it's always much better. When you are manifesting with the divine, you're sending up your prayers. You're sending up this vision of your manifestation. The divine gets it and says, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, but hey, we can sort of tweak this, we can tweak that, we can really improve on this for you. And you don't really know that at the time, okay? But this is always how it happens. The divine doesn't just hand you or position you smack dab in the middle of your manifestation exactly the way that you had manifested it. Sure, all those elements may be there, but there's always going to be some sort of other details that you look at and go, wow. It's basically God's touch in your life. And this also brings with it this deepened sense of connectivity that you now have with the divine. You feel very seen. You feel very loved. You feel needed. You feel like you have a purpose in a space where you may have once felt unheard. A lot of you have come from timelines where you almost felt like you didn't make a difference. What am I even here for? Does the universe even need me? Do I even matter? I'm telling you right now that if any of you feel that way in this very moment, it's because of what the divine is going to give you access to. But your strength is a huge part of all of this. Your faith, that's what it comes down to. As I mentioned, you are a divine instrument. You are a vessel. And when you are able to succeed in a space where you once felt completely ignored, almost like the universe was ghosting you, this can be very influential to your environments, your communities, the people that may have once formed weapons against you. When you become an example of what success looks like when you completely surrender to the divine order of things, you cannot begin to imagine the type of miracles that can begin to unfold in your life. But this path is not easy. It's very difficult. Not a lot of people are able to do it. But you were sent here to walk this path. So Sag, if I was to give you a simple takeaway from everything that we have channeled through right now, there's something extraordinary here for you. But your faith is the key through all of this. That is you saying to yourself, I am not going to give up no matter what. I am not going to allow the resistance that I may be feeling that is a result of my own subconscious fears to consume me and force me to release my grip on my faith. No matter what obstacles may come across my path, no matter what difficulties I may face in my life, I know that it's been placed there by the universe because I must go through that to get to said manifestation. Sag, when you can move with this knowing, with this agreement, right? It's an agreement that you have with yourself. You'll move mountains in your life. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Whew. Okay, we're going to take this sun card. Man, the way it fell out right underneath that throat chakra, right? Sun card in reverse is an energy of when you're doubting yourself. It's an energy of a delayed success. It follows everything we're saying here, and it's right there at the solar plexus. And you know, as I'm looking at the Two of Swords, it's like, here you are, right? Two of Swords is, whenever I see it, I think about the crossroads. You can continue down the same path you've always been going down, or you can take this path where this divine white horse is, right? And see how you're blindfolded? So you can't see the divine white horse here. And you have your back to the water, right? So swords is all about the mind, communication. So a head over heart decision. It's like the divine is saying to you right now, focus, organize your thoughts, and don't allow your emotions to overtake you right now and stifle you right in the middle of this process. I'm also hearing something about the divine wanting you to get some sort of a structure in place, a plan, follow it step by step. This is very important. You may need to put together some sort of plan on a whiteboard or something like this in regards to this manifestation. This can be very helpful when you're feeling discouraged, and especially when you have these emotions that are trying to get in your way. It's to say that you have something outlined on a whiteboard or in a notepad, and instead of allowing your emotions to guide you, you're constantly looking at this list and going down it step by step. It's the process by which you organize your thoughts. And in a lot of your cases, it's absolutely necessary in this part of your journey. It's like saying, okay, I think we're getting close to something, but I don't know yet. Maybe you hearing it in this reading gives you a bit of motivation. All right, well, we got that message there. What can we do right now? Put together a blueprint, a game plan from this point forward, each step with detail on how you are going to get to this manifestation. It's like saying, okay, we're in the 11th hour, we're in the last lap, but instead of just running full steam ahead, which is ultimately what we need to do here, we stop for a second and we revisit our plan. We revisit our vision. Now, the Sun card in reverse at the solar plexus position is really interesting because the solar plexus is all about your confidence. It's all about your drive. But the Sun in reverse is the polar opposite kind of energy. It's really emphasizing a lack in confidence. But this all has to do with the story that you've been telling yourself. It's like there's something on repeat in your mind, Sag, that I'm picking up on. It's like when you're in the 11th hour, preparing to pull something off, you hear that voice start rattling around inside of your mind, telling you that you won't be able to do it, that it's not that good, that it's not going to matter, whatever it may be. But that in and of itself is a program, and it's something that the divine needs you to break. And the way that you're going to break this is by pushing forward through that discouraging voice that is trying to get you to doubt yourself. That's the only way. You must go through it. You must go through the fear. Yeah, I'm hearing that there's a shadow version of you that is in the driver's seat right now. And this process is going to see you taking the driver's wheel back and putting that shadow version in the back seat where it belongs. Now, I feel that this shadow version of you is the result of some sort of trauma. Simplest way I can put this is, let's say at some point in your childhood or even in your adult life, somebody has said something to you, projected something onto you that was a collection of words that was actually how they felt about themselves. But maybe this person was just so wounded that they wanted everybody else to feel the way that they did. So they projected it onto you and it stuck. It jumped in the driver's seat. It just really impacted your self-confidence in some capacity. Now, we all deal with this. It's just a part of life. We're all inside this massive sort of ecosystem and we all affect each other. But sometimes we don't know how much we're truly affected by some sort of trauma until we're trying to accomplish something of importance in our life, especially in an area that has seen you facing a lot of resistance. Maybe this is a space where you didn't have a whole lot of support. People didn't really encourage you. Maybe this is a path that not a lot of people take in life. And as time has gone on, you've really started to realize that, hey, you know what? I don't think anybody's going to support me on this path. I'm going to have to do this solo. Maybe people just don't see my vision, and that's okay. I feel that it's one of these things where people see the vision and get it when you've arrived there. Trying to explain it to people before you get there can be incredibly disruptive to your path, depending on who these people are in your life. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. The moon. Unbelievable. This is following what I'm saying. The divine is trying to light up your subconscious spheres so you can address these things and start to understand that they are in direct opposition with you actually succeeding at pulling this manifestation into your everyday waking life. Sun in reverse followed by the moon is an energy of subconscious fear that does not want to be removed from your subconscious mind. Now, this pairing is talking about your shadow self, exactly what we have already spoken about. Source needs you to connect with some sort of repressed emotions that you may have in one area of your life or another, Sag. I'm hearing that there's some sort of fear directly connected to this success. And I feel that what this is really speaking about is the fact that you are so used to not having the success in regards to whatever this is. The idea of actually having the success almost has fear connected to it because you're having a hard time integrating it visually into the manifestation. Now, if I was to really give you the simple takeaway from that, it's that you need to start visualizing yourself more in the manifestation than not in the manifestation. Typically, when we start out on the path, we're not doing that. But when we face so many roadblocks, when we face so much resistance, so much pushback, it's hard to see ourselves in anything but that space where we're not seeing the success. Right on the bottom of the deck, we have the, wow, Ten of Swords Tower. This is literally the key. Ten of Swords, an ending and a beginning. And the Tower is speaking about a destruction of some sort of false security, but it has to do, I heard, with your emotional body and how you're interfacing with your subconscious mind. It's like walking around in a circle, wearing a path into the dirt, and the universe is saying to you, step outside of that path that you have worn into the dirt. It's time to carve out a whole new way. And though that may sound simple, it's not, because there's this centripetal force that keeps you on that path. It's all the subconscious resistance. It's all the things people say to you. It's a life lived, walking that same pattern. It's a program that needs to be broken. What do we have at the throat, please? Lovers in reverse. Gemini energy at the throat. Now, the Lovers in reverse can speak about some sort of misaligned values, but it's an overall energy of imbalance, some sort of disharmony. And I feel that this has to do with not only your mindset, but for a lot of you, your environment, which could be the entire reason why the mindset even exists to begin with. You know, it's like saying that you grow up in a certain situation and you're programmed by that environment, so to speak. And now you're going throughout life looking through the lens of, say, some sort of trauma that you may have experienced in that environment, which is not allowing you to show up in your fullest capacity. It's like somebody saying something to you at some point in your life, you'll never be able to do that. And as you grow up, you just have that echo of what they said with you, right? And it just resurfaces in those moments when you need all of yourself, when you need every last drop of confidence. You hear that thing, and maybe you don't realize that it's that which is a kind of thorn in your side. You don't realize how much it's holding you back until you remove it. And the only way you remove it is by proving it wrong, period. There's really no other way. And that's what I'm getting here for all of you, Sag. There's some sort of subconscious fear that the universe is telling you that you must go through in order to be standing smack dab in the middle of this manifestation. What do we have at the third eye, please? Okay, we're going to go ahead and take both of these cards. Judgment, wow, at the third eye. Two of Swords again at the crown from a completely different deck. And there's the Awakening. This Judgment card is confirming that what I'm saying here is accurate about you needing to face this subconscious fear. And once you do this, the rebirthing is underway. I'm also hearing something here about your vibration actually going up once you release this subconscious fear or self-doubt, which makes perfect sense. And fear, which can show up in many different forms, has a way of lowering your vibration. It influences your experience on how you interface with life. It's to say that heaven and hell aren't a place, they're a vibration, and we can experience these things at all time. But the more fear that you allow to accumulate subconsciously will give you an experience that reflects that. And that's why it looks as though you're being lifted, right? You're leaving this other timeline behind. You release the subconscious fear and you're elevated into this new timeline where you're now interfacing with the reality that is in alignment with this newfound sense of self. It's like waking up from one day to the next, having completely released whatever this may be for you, and it could be multiple things, and you're just lighter on your toes. You feel like anything is possible. You've broken the programming. You've gotten off that worn-through path. You've broken free from an idea of who they told you you were going to be, who you're supposed to be, because you decided that you were not going to accept that, because it's far lesser than the vision that you truly hold for yourself and the true heart's desire that you can feel calling you from within. In other words, you're no longer allowing anyone, anything, any mindset, any behavioral pattern to stand in your way. And the Two of Swords at the crown is you facing off with these fears. It's like there you are, right? And I feel that these two right here are representing two different parts of you. It's like the little angel and the little devil on your shoulder. It's like you're fighting back, but subconsciously, right? You're blindfolded, so it just gives the impression that this is all going on internally. And see how you're wearing yellow slippers there? It's connecting me to the solar plexus. It's like you face what can be perceived as a blockage or a dead end and think that that's it, but it's not. It's an illusion. The way forward is to go inward in order to find your way outward. What do we have at the foundation, please? Wow, again. How many confirmations can we possibly get? The moon, Beelzebub. Okay, the moon from this deck reads like moon in reverse. Okay, so this is an energy of needing to face the subconscious fears. The subconscious fears are creating a blockage in your intuition because the divine is saying, okay, go that way. And your subconscious fears are saying, no, go that way. When you're not listening to your intuitive guidance, it's like it begins to lock up because the messages are backing up. Because though you may hear them, you're not actually putting action behind them. So it's like the messages keep wanting to repeat on you, which creates the blockage. Everything is just getting backed up. You haven't processed one message, so it's still sitting there on the conveyor belt. It's like your intuition is a conveyor belt. It's a highway. The messages come down, and if you don't actually implement the message, that's when we start to get the blockage. And it's right underneath that Two of Swords. The divine saying to you, hey, it's right here. Okay, you're right there. And you're like, I don't know. Maybe I should just continue going down this path. At least I know what to expect down there. You know, and this is really just another way of saying that the divine needs you to expand your horizons, needs you to step outside of that comfort zone. It's like some of you Sages out there want something so bad, but you want it your way. And because you're not getting it your way, you're thinking that it's just not going to happen, which is just not the case. So many people miss out on aligning with their dreams and their ultimate manifestations because they're not ready to surrender that idea of how they think it's supposed to look. Some of you are also marinating in some sort of embarrassment that you have gone the wrong way, that you have put all your time into something only to be met with a blockage. And now you're allowing outside opinions to define you. The see, I told you so, that wasn't for you. When the divine is saying, hey, no, we need you to go inward to move forward outwardly. You're right here. Just need you to take care of some things here because it's the necessary process for you to be able to integrate this manifestation into your life. We can't just hand it to you the way things are right now. We got to tweak a few things. Make sure you're ready for this. What do we have? The sacral, please. Too many cards. What do we have? The sacral, please. Ace of Wands, Azazel, at the sacral, fire energy. This just followed what I said. This is an energy that is feeling unmotivated now. It's an energy of obstacles and setbacks, feeling like you have made a wrong decision or move, or you've put all your time into a space that hasn't shown you any results. And it's so interesting that it's right underneath that Three of Cups, which is the celebration. And once you're on the other side of this, that's how close this is. It's like you're teetering right on the edge of something right now. It's like you're right on the threshold, Sag, and you don't even know it. It's like some of you just really need to face whatever this fear is here and give it a hearty middle finger, okay? That's the best way I can put this, Sag. It's time to say, no, that is not me. I am not just an idea of what other people think that I am supposed to be, because they lacked the guts and determination to give it all they had at one point in their life and go after their dreams. What do we have in the solar plexus, please? Unbelievable. Knight of Pentacles. Again, this followed what I said, okay? Because whenever I get this Knight of Pentacles, it's like somebody who sits around telling everybody else how to live their life, but this person has never done anything even remotely close to what it is you're trying to pull off here. And a lot of it just has to do with actually trying to achieve something of greatness here. You're listening to somebody who's an ignorant, self-serving crab. That's exactly what this person is. And or you are listening to the words that they once said to you because it keeps repeating on you. Pinpoint where this energy is coming from and exterminate it from your life for good. And once you do this, Sag, if this manifestation here is indeed in alignment with what the divine is willing for your life, you are absolutely going to see movement. In fact, when the divine is willing something to you in your life, facing these kinds of obstacles is actually a part of the path. It's a part of what you have to learn to be able to step into that new timeline. This is the wilderness. What do we have at the heart, please? Unbelievable. Two of Swords again. Two of Swords, Two of Swords, Two of Swords. And whenever I get this slimy salesman-looking creature here, right? It's only shaking your hand with 3 digits, right? As if to say that you can't trust that handshake. It's like this person here. See how they have this sort of long beak? It almost gives an energy where they're lying to you, just saying what they have to get what they want out of you. And the fact that his neck is extended like that, it's like they act like they're sticking their neck out for you. I've got your best interest in mind, Sag. This is an energy here that wants you to bet against yourself, not on yourself. This is an energy here that wants you to think that you need their validation, you need their acceptance, and that that's more important than what the divine is guiding you to do at this time in your life. Sag, once you get to the other side of this and you look back and you're taking in everything that you have gone through to get to that point, you'll never look at these kinds of people the same ever again. In fact, most of you will never want to talk to them ever again because you really start to see them for who they are. And you understand that the value of your life was greatly decreased when they were integrating themselves into your life. Your life wasn't your life. Your life is, again, an idea of what they had in mind for you, which was all based on what they were most comfortable accepting in regards to you and your success. Simply put, they act like they support you, but the support is circumstantial. It only goes so far. There's a threshold there. If you begin to cross that threshold, this is when you begin to see the horns. This is when you begin to see the little devil tail. This is when you begin to feel like something is just not right because you're breaking away from that worn out path, that karmic cycle. The process by which you break a karmic cycle and cross that bridge into another new cycle that you are in control of is like a spiritual war zone. It's sort of like when you hear about people trying to get out of a gang, right? They can't. It's like people try to get out of a certain gang and then the gang comes for them. What do you think you're doing? There's no way out of this. This is for life. And then we have the Queen of Swords. You know, I've been feeling the Queen of Swords in this reading since the very beginning. This is you saying, oh, no. That's not how this is going to go down. You don't make the rules anymore. I make the rules. This is my life. Queen of Swords is an energy of self-preservation. you are doing whatever you have to at this point to be able to push forward in power, because you know now that this has been some sort of a campaign, whether it's been something that is obvious or it's just in the spirit. It feels like there's a force behind it. And that is very much what it feels like to break out of a karmic cycle. You feel like there's a force behind it. You feel like you're trying to leave some sort of gang and that something is coming for you, trying to pull you back in. But as soon as you stand up to this energy, however that shows up for you, it backs down because it's not used to you doing that. So you have to remember here that all of their actions towards you are based on a certain kind of knowing that they have surrounding you and your personality. They're used to you being a certain way. So as soon as you break path and you self-empower, it's like shock and awe to them. You're just not letting people into your energy anymore, okay? It's very much an energy of, what do you want, right? There's no more being nice to these energies because that's how you once were to them. No. Now you are setting a very, very clear boundary of how you expect to be treated. Otherwise, they simply do not get to access you ever again. And this is all a result of you overcoming this subconscious fear, by the way. It says right there, ritual and ceremony, right? Perfect energy to get here for this full moon, the eclipse. It's like you're eclipsing this subconscious fear out of your life. This right here is Sag 2.0. And what I said about all of this taking place between now and, say, January aligns perfectly with the after effects of the eclipse. It takes a little bit of time, right? What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Too many cards. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Wow. Unbelievable. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm on my 6th deck of cards. I've shuffled through hundreds of cards, okay? And we have the Lovers stacked with the Lovers at the throat. But now this Lovers is upright. The Lovers here is representing your higher self, your connection with the divine. The disharmony that was once in your life has been removed, and now you are perfectly aligned with said manifestation. And see how it's like your higher self has rescued you from the wilderness, right? Is now elevating you into this new timeline. It's like you got the memo. Hey, Sag, you need to let go of this. You need to let go of that. You need to work on the subconscious fear. As soon as you do that, we're going to elevate you. It says right there, removes negative energy, okay? Some of you could be feeling a bit tired right now. This is very normal with these transits, the moon, the eclipse, and this overall energy that you are expelling from your life. I mean, right there, she's practically passed out in his arms, right? That's your higher self. The masculine side of you, right? Which we all have feminine and masculine. Subconscious is leaning more towards the emotional body. The emotional body is going to be feminine. So you're healing these feminine qualities that each and every one of you holds. You're implementing more fire, more masculine into this. What do we have at the third eye, please? You know, a really simple way of explaining what I just said here about healing these feminine qualities and allowing the masculine side of you to drive you forward, right? It's like saying that you are no longer going to allow the things that people have said to you to impact you in such a way where you almost feel victimized, right? It's almost like the woe is me, which holds you back. And even though you may not have had any control over the things that these people may have said to you or done to you, it's impacted you on a subconscious level. And without you even fully realizing it, until again you get on the other side of this energy, you're allowing yourself to be victimized to this. Hence, healing these feminine aspects. You're not going to allow those words to break you, to consume you, to hold you down. You're no longer going to marinate in it. And that to me is a really perfect example of how we can all use the masculine traits that each and every one of us holds to overcome, let's say, shadow feminine traits that we have, right? What do we have at the third eye, please? Too many cards. What do we have at the third eye? What do we have at the third eye, please? Too many cards. What do we have at the third eye? Whew. Perfect. Chariot, Cancer energy at the third eye. Who is like God, perseverance, success in conflict, overcoming adversity. Okay, so here's Archangel Michael. You're showing up in this sort of energy, okay? And or Archangel Michael is just protecting you at this time because you were preparing to align, okay? And see how we're trampling over the beast here. Now, the beast is just representing the words, the things that make you feel victimized without even really being consciously aware of it. This is the subconscious fears, okay? And see how it's right underneath judgment? So you trample over the beast, and then you are lifted, vibrationally speaking, into the next timeline. So you're now interfacing with your reality. You're still here, right, on this plane of existence, but the way you interface with it is completely different. Like I said about us being able to experience heaven or hell based on the vibration that we're vibrating at in this moment. This is exactly what this is picking up on. And this is achieved through focus and determination, okay? And it's also an energy of aligned values. Both of these cards speak about aligned values. This is you realizing that this past version of you was not actually aligned with the person that you had always seen yourself to be. It's like saying, I'm not that person. That was projected onto me. This is why I've always felt like something was off, or I wasn't where I'm supposed to be in life. It all had to do with this. The values by which you were living this alternate life. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups. So this Ten of Cups shows all three levels to you. We have your inner child, we have you in the here and now, and then we have your higher self. There's a convergence. It's like this is the crossover point where you understand this, right? You need to embrace the inner child, and you need to align with your higher self as to integrate into the vision that you have for you in this life cycle. Your higher self is trying to help you get there, and your inner child needs healing as not to hold you back. What do we have at the crown to close out the reading, please, Spirit? Five of Cups, Scorpio energy. And the way it fell right on Beelzebub right there, the moon. It says right there, prosperity, destruction of the enemy, and the deliverance from bondage. Five of Cups from this deck is an energy of moving on. It's an energy of complete recovery. You're no longer living within an idea of what people think you should be, just to satisfy them and their lack of growth in their own life. You're making new plans. You're forging ahead, and you're accepting that those people are just who they are, and really understanding that if you want to have them in your life, well, you're going to need to meet them on their level because they simply cannot meet you on your level. And that in and of itself is just not something that you are willing to sacrifice anymore. This is a very deep, very profound reading, and I certainly hope that it can help give you the encouragement to push forward and pull this manifestation through, whatever this speaks about for you. Because like I said, to me, I feel like I can reach out and grab onto it for you. So even though it may feel like something is still very far away from you, you need to understand that the only reason you feel that way is because of the subconscious fears that Spirit is assisting you in releasing at this time. As soon as you start addressing whatever this may be for you, you're going to start seeing this vision appear on the horizon line and make its way into your everyday waking life. But right now, all hands need to be on deck. You need to be very focused. You need to be very driven. And any obstacles that may appear on your path are just a clear indication that you are getting closer and closer to pulling this off. All right, Sag, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. If you would like to support my channel, there are a few ways that you can go about doing this. Of course, donations are always greatly appreciated, and I would like to extend my gratitude to everybody who continues to donate to my channel. I also have an online store, which is made up of items that I have designed myself that are extensions of the creative universe of my channel. And I would like to extend my gratitude to everybody who's already gone there and made purchases. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. Information for personal readings can be found in the description down below. If you would like to join the membership side of my channel, it's only $2.99 a month, where I upload additional readings that are not available on the public side of my platform. But lastly, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you, Sag. So leave me a comment and or a heart down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.